Shopify. This was a pandemic-era darling getting rocked at this hour. Shares are dropping pretty precipitously, even after reporting first quarter revenue jumped 22% year over year to $1.2 billion. Sales, along with its profits, both missed expectations. The e-commerce giant did announce its largest acquisition in history, a $2.1 billion cash and stock deal for fulfillment technology company Deliver. But with this stock, Shopify, at two-year lows. I mean, folks, this was a $1,760 a share stock last year. Got it down 37% for the past 2 years. Is Shopify's swing from big profits to a loss, is that stock specific, or is the whole sector in danger? Shopify rival GoDaddy, well, their shares are down too, but it too released its first quarter results after the closing bell yesterday. The small biz e-commerce platform missed earnings per share by 2 cents, but came out on top with revenue coming in at $1 billion, beating expectations by about 10.8 million. Unlike Shopify, GoDaddy not seeing a slowdown in January to March quarter, with 20% year-over-year increases in gross merchandise volume at $24 billion. Let's find out more here of what's going on. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, GoDaddy CEO Aman Bhutani. Aman, we get it. It's not all champagne and roses for you guys either. Your stock taking a hit today too. But give us your current assessment of the consumer and the small business world right now.
Liz, thanks for having me on the show. And as you know, our customer is the small of small business. We love calling them micro business. They're resilient, and what they've seen over the last 2 years is a need to go online. They've brought sort of their resilience, their passion to the online world. And what we see is that, yes, some of their business is going back offline, and they love that. They want people to come into their stores, but they continue to work online. So for the micro business, we continue to see good trends. Now, it's not accelerating the way it was over the last 2 years, but these folks know that they need to wake up every morning and make it happen. So they make that change and make it happen. And so GoDaddy ends up with really solid earnings first quarter of the year.
I need to press you on what you're seeing in the current quarter. And I mean, all you have to do is look at Etsy. Etsy was saying, well, we're not really seeing all that excitement. And of course, for you guys, as the domain name king, the going gets tough. Americans turn entrepreneur, right? During the pandemic, so many people decided, let me start my own business since I can't work, everything's shut down. Are you seeing a market slowdown or a deceleration in that behavior?
Yeah, in fact, it wasn't just so many people. As 2020 over 2019, 2.8 million people decided to open a micro business. And if you go back to the Great Recession, it was the same. Lots of people in 2008 opened businesses because that's what they had to do. And again, I want to point to the micro businesses. These are people, lots of them are solopreneurs. They have 2 employees, they have 5 employees. A lot of times when other companies are talking about the market, they're comparing to much larger businesses. But for the true micro business, again, they have to show up every morning and make it happen. They do see shifts. They're not immune to what's happening in the economy, right, but they work super hard. And what we see in the macro environment is a shift from online to offline to some extent. But they are not shutting down their online. They're not shutting down their businesses because they know that they have to go through ups and downs and still be here. And they have a domain name, they have a website, they have a store, and that helps, right? They want to keep some of those assets around.
But before we go, they also have to deal with supply chain issues, obviously, and inflation. We saw labor costs spiking dramatically year over year for the first quarter. Can you just give us a sense really quickly about how you view what the Fed's plan is, and that is to not be more aggressive with rate hikes to cool down demand?
Yeah, so inflation impacts our customers for sure, and it impacts our customers' customers. So, when the Fed raises rates, of course they worry about it. But again, Liz, these are people that are going to do $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 in sales. They have personal relationships with their customers. They're looking at their customers suffering a bit and saying, what can I do to keep my business going? How do I do more for them? And in the background, of course, we want to do whatever we can to help them. But this is a small micro customer. Yes, they're impacted, but they have to show up tomorrow and make it work.
Aman Bhutani of GoDaddy, thank you for giving us that perspective on an extraordinarily busy day.